Wetlands. They have been the heart of many ecosystems around the world. Vast amounts of water that cover large areas of soil and land, seasonally or all year long, have proved for many centuries of their great importance. But why is their degradation still occurring? What are they to you, and why do they matter? In today's episode of Sustainable Future, we will explore into the scientific issue regarding the imperative need to conserve wetlands. There are several natural factors that affect the wetland. These include water quality alteration and erosion. However, consequences from our own actions, such as urban development and pollution, and overusage of resources, have led to the deterioration of wetland ecosystems. Wetland environments can exist in a variety of ways. These include salt marshes, mangroves and coral reefs, lakes, rivers, and mudflats. They can be formed through intertidal waves and melting of glaciers in other parts of the world. Australia has 65 wetlands, covering more than 8 million hectares that are protected under the Ramsar Convention, which is recognized on the list of wetlands of international importance. A major wetland found in Sydney is in Bicentennial Park, Sydney Olympic Park home. It is home to the Avicennia marina, commonly known as the Great Mangroves, 8 hectares of coastal salt marsh, and waterbird refuge for local and migratory shorebirds. The park's rivers and waters are essential, as they are connected to Parramatta River and Sydney Harbour's ocean, resulting in shared organisms, such as fish and birds, to require both environments for use and survival. There are severe consequences that affect the triple bottom line: people, place, and profit. The Badu mangroves show their large impact on animals, as they are a habitat and food resource. This is evident when a variety of organisms, such as crabs and snails, eat the decomposing mangrove leaf litter. The abundance of crabs and mangrove seedlings per transect suggests that crabs are more frequently found in areas where mangrove seedlings and leaves fall, as they are responsible for the breakdown of the mangrove material. Not only are the mangroves important as a food resource for the varying organisms, but is a common habitat. The organisms must possess particular adaptation that help them survive with the conditions. Avicennia marina have a high tolerance for saline water. They carry an amazing adaptation of pneumatophores, stick-like figures poking up from the ground, providing the ability to grow and develop by achieving gas exchange for photosynthesis and balancing the salt water intake. Other plants show importance, such as Melaleuca stipholytes, commonly known as prickly leaf paperbark, which is used by birds for nesting. Wetlands provide us coastal protection through the many organisms that carry varying adaptations. Salt marsh and casuarinas work together to slow down wave action and reduce flooding, where mangrove forests help to trap sediments that flow from rivers, stabilizing the coastline from erosion. Profit is another major factor affecting the conservation of wetlands. As the population continues to grow, education and use of land for urban development are greatly considered. Educational facilities and tours enhance wetland conservation for students, the general public, and tourists, enabling awareness of the issue. However, opinions differ regarding the conservation of wetlands. Due to an increase of population, conservation can affect urban development. The need for urban development is seen as more important to businesses, rather than the environmental sustainability that wetlands offer. Many businesses can expand and gain profit if new estates were built over the wetlands. In the past, there has already been a negative impact of urban development on wetlands. This is evident as early as the European settlement. The colonists settled on a large estuarine area, and by the 1970s, it became one of the most polluted industrial areas. The importance of wetlands was then recognized, and a portion of the wetlands left on the borderline of the Parramatta River is now conserved. The conservation of Bicentennial Park occurred in the late 1980s. To manage the increasing pressure on wetlands, strategies of housing development should be worked around the wetlands, as they provide a cooling effect to the surrounding areas and can moderate the strength of wind movement. All sources, such as the Department of Environment and Energy, are credible, as they are government-run websites producing information from carefully studied sources. In conclusion, wetlands matter to us, animals, and the environment. As the population increases, we must find solutions to ensure wetland conservation is nationally continued, as the wetland ecosystem has scientifically shown their vital importance.